All right, today we're talking about time management.
Straight.
Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back again this week. Today we're talking about time management, how to keep things in place, and how to make sure you're on the right path. Since I became my own business owner, I find myself reflecting on things that I learned about time management a lot. And, there have been jobs that I've had in the past where I've had to learn how to prioritize things, how to make sure I'm staying on top of everything so that every task that I have goes well without or with minimal hiccups. So a few things about time management. The number one thing to me is prioritizing. When I did have a job at the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank, I had a supervisor who was really frustrated with me one day. I was trying to get a slew of different things done every 5 minutes. She was walking into my office giving me different tasks to do. And I felt a bit overwhelmed. So what I did was I started doing the easy things first and then just sort of working from there. And she came in and she asked me for something. And I hadn't done it yet. And she was livid. So I was like, well, I got all this stuff to do. How do and it was like my first time really like speaking back to her or talking back to her. She's my supervisor. I'm not an insubordinate kind of person. But, I just felt overwhelmed. And she shut my office door at that time, sat down in front of me. She said, when you have a multiple of different things to do, you need to learn how to prioritize. You need to look at your list of things to do, look at your tasks, and take a quick glance and say, which one of these tasks will have the biggest impact or be worse off if they're not done the fastest, and then work from there. Just like that, a light bulb clicked in my head. Every single time I have a slew of different things to do, that's how I look at it. I look at what needs to be done the fastest and what's going to have the biggest issue if it's not done soon or the quickest, and then I work my list from there. There are a few other things that I put into play, but that is so clear in the back of my mind. I mean, I could still see the look on her face when she asked me for those things. But so that's typically how I prioritize things. Now, you may have a different way that you prioritize things, but keeping things in order is a good way of developing good time management skills or whatnot. Also, goal setting. Now, myself personally, every single day when I sit at this computer and I get ready to get started for today, I take out my sticky notepad. I got my sticky notepad right here. I keep it. I every morning I write today's goals at the top, and then I write down every single thing I want to do that day, and then work my list from there. If I don't get everything done that day, well, I'm not hard on myself. They're goals, but I'm not gonna say, oh, I failed because I didn't do all my goals today. I'll just take everything that I didn't get complete today and put it at the top of my list for tomorrow and sort of put a special priority on those. And when it comes to goal setting, I just think that it gives you sort of like a path to follow by setting those goals. And for me, I set goals daily. Also, communication, making sure that you communicate your intentions with each and every person that you're involved with. If you're somebody like me who deal with a number of different people on a daily basis, then you need to make sure that whatever you have in mind about when you're going to do something and how you're going to do it, that you communicate to all parties involved. You'd be surprised how many things fall through due to lack of communication. It seems like it should be common sense, but I guess as the old saying goes, common sense isn't so common. So another thing is planning. You want to plan out, for me, plan out your day. That kind of goes hand in hand with me goal setting. When I set my goals, it's kind of like me planning my day as well. I know the things that I want to get done, so I generally have an idea of how I'm going to do them. It's just mainly getting those goals written down and then working it from there. But also, I want to throw in this. I was talking to my broker this morning, and he was telling me when it comes to him and time management that he is so regimented he does the same exact thing every single morning, every single day. I know a number of people like that. But, talking to him, somebody I'm close to, somebody who I admire, talking to him, it really put it into perspective because, he was like, hey, Chris, even down to how I shower, I do the exact same way, the exact same thing each and every morning. And I thought that was interesting. I wake up the same time every morning. I think I do the same thing every morning, but I don't do it the same way. And I'm not as regimented as he is in that regard when it comes to having things done the exact same way. But I can see how that helps you develop good time management because you know exactly how long it's going to take you to get ready in the morning, exactly how long it's going to take you to get out the house because you do the same thing every day, barring any kind of hiccups or anything like that. And then delegation. If you got so much going on that you feel like you're overwhelmed or you just can't prioritize all of it, delegate some of it off. If you're a business owner and you got too much going on, you gotta have faith in who you have working with you. You gotta have faith in your colleagues or your employees if you're an employer to delegate that work off because, again, I've heard this plenty of times, and I'm a true believer of it. You can't do it all alone. If you want to be successful in business, you need a partner or you need somebody that's going to be by your side or somebody that's going to help you through that process. Some people can do it all alone, but, for the most part, you're definitely going to need some help. And then lastly, stress management. When you're overwhelmed, the next thing behind that comes stress. The best thing that you can do when it comes to stress management is understand that 9 times out of 10, it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. Do your best to work your plan and get things done. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, prioritize it correctly. And even if you got your things prioritized and you still seem to be overwhelmed and you have to delegate some things off, one thing about stress is if you're not careful, it'll just ruin your entire psyche, your entire mood. I choose to look at things that, like I said, 9 times out of 10 is not that important. Whatever it is, 9 times out of 10 is not that important. And you just have to learn how to let it roll off your back. You got to learn how to let things go when it comes to stress. And just know that if you can fix whatever the issue is, there's no need to stress because that issue can be fixed. If you cannot fix whatever the issue is, then there's still no need to stress because there's nothing you can do about it. And, with saying that, that's, pretty much what I have for you today. I just thought I'd sit here and talk a little bit about time management and keeping things in order. And hopefully something I said can help you out through time management and help you keep things in order. But I appreciate y'all checking me out, man. And we'll do this again next week. Hope y'all have a good one.